Get ready to explore the shocking story of how one of the greatest footballers of all time ended up in prison. Ronaldinho was a superstar who dazzled the world with his skills, flair, and charisma, winning the World Cup, the Champions League, and the Ballon d'Or. But his career and reputation took a dramatic turn for the worse when he was arrested in Paraguay for using a fake passport. How did this happen? Let's find out.
Perfecto, ¿no? Siempre bueno encontrar grandes amigos, grandes jugadores. Entonces es un placer muy grande. Los veo muy bien, muy motivados. No.
Some background. Ronaldinho lost his mojo after 2006. He had many problems like injuries, bad form, and bad attitude. He was not always the perfect professional. He loved to have fun, and sometimes he had too much fun. He liked to party a lot and drink a lot, and that affected his performance on the pitch. He was not in good shape and did not train hard enough. People said he was wasting his talent and criticized him for his lifestyle. He also had some problems with the fans, the coach, and even Messi. Can you believe that?
A move that tells you what Barcelona are all about. And it comes to Bellamy, and was it over the line? It is now from Couch, but Bellamy will claim the goal.
The coach, Rijkaard, had some arguments with Ronaldinho, and he benched him a few times. They did not agree on many things. Rijkaard was the boss, and he wanted Ronaldinho to listen to him. But Ronaldinho was the star, and he wanted to do what he wanted. One of the worst moments they had was in 2007 when Barcelona played Liverpool in the Champions League. It was the first game at home, and Barcelona lost 2-1. Ronaldinho scored a penalty, but he also missed another one. He did not play well, and the fans booed him. Rijkaard was not happy, and he decided to take him off in the second half. He put on Eidur Gudjohnsen, a striker, instead of Ronaldinho, a playmaker. He changed the way they played, and he wanted them to be more aggressive and direct. But Ronaldinho did not like that. He felt hurt and angry. He thought that Rijkaard was blaming him for the loss, and that he was trying to take away his power. That was the end of their friendship. After that, things got worse. They stopped talking to each other, and they stayed away from each other, and that hurt the whole club. Barcelona lost the second game to Liverpool, and they were out of the Champions League. They also lost the league title to Real Madrid, and they finished the season with no trophies. It was a disaster, and it was the start of the end for Ronaldinho and Rijkaard at Barcelona. And with Messi, some people said that Ronaldinho was a bad influence on him. They said that he was jealous of Messi and that he did not want him to shine. But you know what? Ronaldinho denied all that. In 2008, he left Barcelona and went to AC Milan, hoping to start over. He thought it would be a new start for him, but it was not what he expected. He was not the star of the team anymore. He was just one of the many. He had to share the spotlight with other big names, like Kaká, Ibrahimovic, and Pato. They were all great players, but they did not play well together. He spent 3 seasons at Milan, but he never really fit in. He never really won anything. He only won one trophy, the Serie A title in 2011, but he did not play much that season. He was not part of the team, he was just a guest. In 2011, he decided to leave all that and came back to Brazil and joined Flamengo, his childhood club. He was happy for a while. He scored some goals and won some trophies. He even played for Brazil again and won the Confederations Cup, but it didn't last long. He had some trouble with the club. He left Flamengo in 2012 and joined Atlético Mineiro, where he had some good moments like winning the Copa Libertadores, but he was not the same. In 2014, he left Atlético Mineiro too and tried some other clubs like Querétaro in Mexico and Fluminense in Brazil, but he didn't play much. He also played in India and in some friendly games, but he was not serious, which caused him to retire in 2018 at the age of 37. Ronaldinho's troubles did not end with his retirement. In 2019, he did something really stupid. He built a fishing platform and a boat dock on a lake in his hometown, Porto Alegre, in Brazil. But there was a problem. The lake was a protected area, and he didn't have permission to build anything there. He broke the law and got caught. The authorities fined him 9.5 million reais, which is about 2.06 million pounds. That's a lot of money, right? But guess what? He didn't pay for it. He ignored the fine. The authorities took away his passports, both Brazilian and Spanish. He couldn't travel anywhere. He was stuck in Brazil. He also had to face other charges, like not paying his taxes, which were more than 1.69 million pounds. And that's not all. The court seized over 50 of his properties, including his houses, his cars, and his artwork. He had nothing left, except for £10 in his bank account. Can you imagine that? A person who used to make millions of pounds playing for the best teams in the world was now penniless and in trouble. Paraguay arrest. His legal troubles did not end there. In 2020, Ronaldinho and his brother Roberto traveled to Paraguay, but they were arrested at the airport for using fake Paraguayan passports, which claimed that they were naturalized citizens of the country. It all started in March 2020. They said they were going there to do some charity work and to promote a book about Ronaldinho's life. But there was a problem. When they arrived at the airport, they showed some passports that were not theirs. They were fake passports that said they were Paraguayan citizens. And they were not very good fakes either. They had Ronaldinho's and Roberto's names and photos, but they also had a stamp that said they were naturalized Paraguayans. That's like saying you were born in another country when you were not. The airport officials were not fooled, and they called the police. They arrested both of them, and the guy who gave them the passports, a businessman named Wilmans Sousa Lira. They also arrested the woman who invited them to Paraguay, a businesswoman named Dalia Lopez. She was the one who organized the charity event and the book launch, but she was also the one who was behind the fake passports. And she was not a very nice person either. She was involved in a big money laundering scheme that had to do with drugs, corruption, and politics. She had connections with some powerful and shady people in Paraguay, and she wanted to use Ronaldinho's fame and influence to get closer to them. Ronaldinho and Roberto said they were innocent and that they did not know the passports were fake. They said they thought they were getting some honorary passports as a gift from their hosts. They did not need fake passports because they could enter Paraguay with their Brazilian IDs, as they're part of the same trade bloc called Mercosur. They asked to be released and to go back to Brazil, but the Paraguayan authorities did not believe them, and they decided to keep them in jail. They took them to a maximum security prison called Agrupación Especializada. It was not a nice place at all. It was a place where they kept some of the most dangerous criminals in Paraguay. They spent 1 month in prison where they shared a cell with each other and with some other inmates. They had some visitors and also had some fans who sent them letters, gifts, and messages. They tried to stay positive and to make the best of their situation, and they also played some football with the other inmates. But the highlight of their time behind bars, the prison futsal tournament. Ronaldinho, with his signature finesse, scored 5 goals and assisted 6 in the final match, winning not just a trophy, but also a bizarre yet delightful 16 kg pig, and he was cheered by everyone in the prison. The Brazilian president, Jair Bolsonaro, did not say anything publicly, but he reportedly called Ronaldinho's lawyer, and he offered his solidarity. He said he was with him, and he hoped he would be released soon. In April 2020, they were finally granted bail, after paying $1.6 million. They were released from prison, but their freedom was limited. They had to stay in Paraguay under house arrest. They moved to a luxury hotel called Hotel Palmaroga in the center of Asunción. They had more freedom and comfort, but they were still watched by the police and the hotel staff. They spent 4 months in the hotel. In August 2020, Ronaldinho and Roberto accepted a plea deal and admitted to using fake passports. They were sentenced to 2 years in prison, but they were allowed to serve their time in Brazil under supervised release. They also had to pay fines of $90,000 and $110,000 respectively, and they were banned from leaving Brazil for 6 months. They were finally free to go home after spending 171 days in Paraguay. When they arrived in Brazil, the duo was welcomed like heroes by a crowd of fans and journalists. They were surrounded by cheers, applause, and flashes of cameras. Ronaldinho thanked them for their love and loyalty and said that he was happy to be back home. He said he was grateful for the prayers and messages he received during this strange and difficult ordeal.
Ya cada vez que lo veo jugar, no motivo de mucho orgullo.
You've had a great career, Barcelona, PSG, AC Milan.
And that wraps up our journey through Ronaldinho's story. He was once the king of the world, but fell from grace due to his own mistakes and misfortunes. He is still remembered as one of the most talented and charismatic players ever, but his legacy is also tainted by his legal troubles. He is now trying to rebuild his life and hopes to return to football in some capacity. He recently said that he wants to play for his childhood club, Grêmio, one last time, before hanging up his boots for good. We hope that he can find peace and happiness, and that he can restore his reputation and dignity. If you enjoyed the video, smash that like button. Don't forget to subscribe for more awesome content. Share this video with your friends and drop a comment below. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Keep the conversation going. Thanks for watching.